Welcome everyone to DTM, the next installment of ACSL in terms of our fun races and our test races leading up to season number 7. It is great to have your company wherever you might be watching from in the world. I am your commentator Omi, and it is great to be back with you for what should be, hopefully, an exciting contest of racing. So we're in the final moments of practice and we're about to transition in through to qualifying. A 15-minute qualifying and then a race that will go up to an hour in total length. Apologies for being slightly late on air. We just had to quickly make sure that all the systems were up and running. And luckily all systems are up and running indeed. Of course, the drivers find themselves with DRS as well. We'll do our usual things of running you through liveries, etc, etc. All of that fun we will make sure that we can give you as well in the opening minutes of qualifying. And we have got a green light on at the end of the pit lane and we are underway. The drivers make their way out onto the course now. They make their way by and already get themselves into a bit of trouble down at the corner as well. And it is great to hear these cars spitting away. At the moment in time, so they make their way by. Drivers get a choice of which car to go for. Most of the drivers going for the Audi. And there's been a bit of discussion as well in terms of which one possibly is the best one to go for. And I think the overall selection speaks for itself. So if we make our way through then. Ready to progress our way into the push laps. And now let's jump on board with Kurgan for an audio lap. And out of the final corner we go, and that is a lap time on the board of a 1:19.963. So Gabriel Kurgan setting the benchmark for the rest of the field to try and get close to. 11 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock to go now. And it is Malasic in second. Perez is third. Nyla Reach fourth. Spapen also goes now to third, make that fourth. That is a lap and a half at the front of the field from Fluid, who you can see at the moment. He has found some lap. Pushing on hard and pushing all the way to the front of the field. 11 minutes overall to go on the clock until we can get 1 hour's worth of racing underway. Will hopefully be an interesting hour to see who is going to come out on top in what is a bit of a different style of racing. We've got DRS available for the drivers in designated zones. It works the same way as it used to in Formula 1 in terms of the be inside 1 second during the race. They get free use in qualifying. So it'll be very interesting to see the DRS being used by the drivers. Wellerman goes up to second position. We're still following our current driver who's top. And our current driver who's got a 1 minute 19.291 now. So Wellerman went into second place. A bit of a moment there for Malashi, who was in fourth, now down to fifth because Wiebek's got the advantage. At the front of the field, it's Wiebek who's got it for the moment. Pullen goes up to ninth as well. So the order, if we look at it, Wiebek, Fluid, then Wellerman, Kurgan and Malasic. Spapen, Perez, Nalaric, Pullen and Otterell complete your top 10. So the driver's now reflecting and coming to a close on run number 1. And they will now prepare and get ready to see how the next runs are going to go. Kitek, 4th place as well with his latest effort. He's gone a 10th of a second ahead of Kurgan. As we check in with the different drivers. Here's Making his way through up towards the line, and he will jump himself up the order to 9th. Jantis Papen jumps himself all the way to P5 as well, so a few laps coming in. Make their way by. And let's actually jump on board and get another audio lap, because these engines sound, well, very different to what we're used to. Well, that's the lap gone. So we won't be able to watch that. But, I mean, you guys have had an onboard lap, haven't you? You can't say that we haven't treated you to at least one. We got one and about a couple of corners. I mean, if there is anyone that someone would like to recommend in the chat for me to do an onboard lap with, where you don't hear me talking, and it's purely car sounds, which probably, out of all days, I think today is probably a good day to not have me in your ear all the time. Given the condition of myself at the moment, it probably would be a good idea for you to hear as least of me as possible. But unfortunately, that's not always how things work, is it? Not always how things work. Send it over the line, shall we? 7 minutes on the clock remain. Wiebek's got the advantage by 0.2 of a second. Can anyone try and respond? Can anyone try and take it away? That's going to be the question that we will be asking. A bit of a moment further back for the driver of Retrovec off in the gravel, kicking it up as he tries to rejoin the road. And he will rejoin the road now in a few seconds. There we go. I think a lot of drivers struggling. Dante's Propen's just had a moment as well. I mean, I can imagine these cars being difficult to drive. Sprite's just gone up to 4th, by the way. So it does not surprise me one bit that these drivers are facing a few hurdles and a bit of trouble here and there. Just the way things go, isn't it, sometimes, everyone? Just the way things go. Some combinations of cars and tracks that can prove to be just a little bit more difficult than some others. The overall aim, though, is to have some entertainment and to have some fun racing for these drivers. So Pullen's gone up to 12th, Perez has gone up to 5th. As he makes his way by, cut over to him. Taking a look at only 3 BMWs that are in the field at the moment. Of course, me being the 4th, but I'm not really driving, am I? I'm here watching with the rest of you guys as more and more lap times are set. Sprite is finding some good momentum lap after lap after lap, and he's finding himself in 3rd, so a further improvement for him. Just after an improvement, it's Pullen diving it into the pit lane. Four minutes and 30 seconds to go on the clock. Wellerman fighting away with the car and then some, as he makes his way through, but just about continues on. So doing well at the moment, isn't he? Doing a really, really tidy job. As they make their way by, and well, it's very much a case now of trying to push the car over the limit to some degree now. Because you've got the lap times on the board that you've got. What can you do with them now? Durand's gone up to 14th. Flewitt has just come over the line as well, and 2nd. And look at the margin between 1st and 2nd. It is game on for pole position. Vbic and Flewitt absolutely flying out there. They have 32 milliseconds separating them, and I wonder who is going to get the advantage. Pozo goes to 13th. But now here we go. This is the battle for pole position. What I was just mentioning was that you're going to need to really send it in. You've got some good benchmarks on the timing page now. Can you send it in? And you can tell that Flewitt is really trying to search for some of the extra momentum that possibly may be that 32 milliseconds that he's currently missing. As we make our way towards the end of the lap, Kurgan finds himself improving up to P6. That has put him 8.5 tenths off the pace. But now, what does Flewitt have? He's been able to get close. Is he going to be able to push on by? As he makes his way up towards the line now. Does Flewitt, where is this lap time going to put him? Well, it's not this lap time that it appears that he was pushing for, it's the next one. It appears like it's the next one that he was going for. Here is Vbic, the current provisional pole sitter as well. And he's about to make his way up towards the line, but he's about to begin a push lap. Here we go. Jantis Papen goes up to 6. So it's very much all eyes on Flewitt first of all, and then it's eyes on Vbic. It's a moment for Wellerman. The driver in third who's had a trip to the pit lane. I don't think he'll be able to do anything now. I think that'll be him done. But we are understandably focusing on this scrap. It's not often you come to the end of an ACSL session and you've got a close fight for pole position. It's the races where they've usually delivered. Now in qualifying, we do have a battle. Over the line we go. And no improvement this time by Fluid. He's going to have to push it all on to the final lap. Over to his rival. Over to the current provisional pole sitter, who's got a 1 minute 18.942, and Fluid, I think, has had a moment. Fluid has stopped. That's him done. He won't be able to get pole position. He was definitely pushing on hard. He was definitely trying to find all the time. But Weebick, who did the job earlier on, may have just secured himself pole position here for the DTM race in ACSL. He comes over the line, and Weebick has put together an absolutely extraordinary qualifying session. He can push on one more lap as well, if he wants to. If he wants to go even quicker. But right now, the 1 minute 18.942 is keeping him at the front. The two nearest contenders are Fluid and Wellerman not able to do anything. Kurgan has stopped. That's him done. It's all eyes to Sprite. It's all eyes to Dan Dispapen. Diego Perez all the way up to 5th. Good lap time from him coming in late too. What does Sprite have in comparison? The checkered flag is flying. The driver in 4th, looking to try and have a challenge up the order. Is he going to be able to get into the top 3? The answer over the line is no. We'll cut our attention to Dan Dispapen, who appears to be inside a dramatic moment there with Pozo, I think, who he's had contact with. So Dispapen is stationary. I think contact with Pozo. Here is Mayonnaise pushing on as well. Vbic knows he's done. He's coming to the pit lane after a little bit of an error appeared. We're looking at Mayonnaise to see whether he has any form of impact. Currently at 9th. 1.1 seconds of the pace. Has to find 2/10 to go and challenge the next driver. He can't do so. Perlin gets ahead. Perlin up to 9th. Mayonnaise 10th. And then it appears like we are done with Malasik as well. What a qualifying session that was. And Weebick, by 0.03 of a second, has secured himself pole position here for the DTM race. Absolutely incredible stuff. What a contest it's been so far in terms of qualifying. Now it's time for the racing. We've got Diego Perez in the chat saying, I'm not believing I managed a 5th place. Well, it's ACSL. Anything is possible. And that qualifying proved it. Great effort to get up to 5th. And, well, it's wide open to see what can happen in the race, isn't it? That's the way to look at it. Okay, so 30 seconds remain on the clock until we can get ourselves to the grid. I can reset to the pit lane, and we can go from there. Malashik saying, such a close quali. Absolutely. And you know, I mean, I might not be 100%. I might be incredibly sick right now, but that's the moment where you've got to try and put it behind you and absolutely get on with it, because that was thrilling. And, you know, I've covered so many ACSL races, and I'll say, the races are the ones that usually have the closeness for the majority of it. It is qualifying sometimes, though, that can be the thing that lets us down at times. That's me in the pit lane. That's when my race will begin. We'll look over to pole position, though. Here we go. You can see the countdown, and it's about to indicate to us that we're about to go racing. The revs are rising. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red lights on. We've got a jump start further back, but ACSL is underway and racing for DTM. An absolute bolt off the line by Weebick, who is going to have the advantage down towards the first corner. It's going to get really close though. I think Wellerman is going to find himself still in fourth, Fluid in third. They've lost the place, and it's Gabriel Kurgan who is roaring up all the way to second. What a start it has been for him. Then it's Fluid, then it's Wellerman. Spapen finds himself in fifth, Sprite in sixth, Kitek, Poland, Nilovich. Malashik is trying to go through as well. He's up against Mayonnaise. Mayonnaise, the car going through, is spinning round. It's going to be Sepe to the back of the field. And that is such a shame for him. As they race their way by. What a dramatic start it has been to racing proceedings as they roar past. Thrilling stuff from the drivers as they already look to go racing, and Weebick somehow got back into the lead, so we missed that, but Weebick has been able to get back to the front. So Kurgan, so Weebick, had already the front position, I should say. Kurgan is still in second, Fluid still in third, so there was nothing that dramatic that we missed. Apologies for that one. Weebick always had the control of the start, I should say. And it's Kurgan who just has control over second, but the gap that he had, by a few tenths, has been brought down, I guess. But no, Weebick absolutely got off the line fantastically and got himself past, and Fluid is going to try and make the move as well. Can he pull out? Can he go for it to the inside? Kurgan gets sideways through the corner. He uses the car of Fluid to get back, pointing in a straight line, and Fluid roars by. Kurgan with a cutback. Brilliant fighting between the pair of them, and Kurgan's back ahead. It is a thrilling fight, and then some. These are fast machines. This is a fast circuit, and they are delivering us with some fantastic racing. 57 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock to go. Can this battle continue? And there we go into the pit lane. It's come Kurgan. Kurgan comes into the pits, and the drivers do have to come into the pits. That's what they've been told. It is mandatory to change tyres. They can pit on any lap that isn't lap 1. So they must use 2 different compounds as well. So they can't do, for example, a medium. They must use a different tyre compound as well at the same time. Where's Kurgan gonna rejoin? Contact between himself and Duran, and we're getting into a mess because you've got so many different cars in the mix, and Kurgan, who was contending for so long, Duran's out, but Kurgan, who was contending for so long, is gonna find himself, well, making the pit stop, and now losing some time in comparison to the drivers he was battling up against. So Fluid in second, for example, Wellerman in third. what a shame. Nyla Reach has gone off as well. Is he going to be able to be out of the way for the other drivers? Just about. Austral is roaring up from the back to 11th. He has got some good pace. He has got some great pace today, and he's going to try and utilize it. Ultimate in the chat saying, hey, hello Omi, how's the race going? Going well. It's going well. We just got underway, but it's been dramatic, it's been chaotic so far. But yes, it's turning out to be quite... Oh, more cars in the mix, and I think there was a clatter further back. Did they just avoid it? Well, Braille's been sent further round. There we go. Rejoining now. It's been dramatic and then some here today. Wherever you're watching from in the world, it is great to have your company. You are listening to a very sick Omi at this point, but still trying to push on. I've got the Sebring 12 hours, a few hours to commentate off that for radio later as well. So I'm going till about 2 AM, which, considering what's been happening over the last few weeks, that's not bad at all. But the hurdle is being sick. That is the hurdle. Not just being sick, but being really sick. So apologies if I've not our max capacity here today. As Pen comes into the pit lane. Ultimate saying it's right. Yes. It is right indeed in the chat. I thought it was right in my head, but I didn't want to commit, considering I think it was your father who I just completely thought was someone else's dad. So I didn't want to repeat all that. But yes, okay. My brain at least thought correctly. That is good. So let's go follow some more of the action then, shall we? Nyla Reach. Kurgan in behind very soon. And we've got some lap cars in the way at the same time. But now it's Kurgan all over the back of Nyla Reach. Oh! And they're lagging all over the place and off. Dramatic moment there for Otterell. So he's the one who's gone off in a big way. As they make their way by. Minutes and 40 seconds to go on the clock. This is the DTM race in ACSL, and it's proving to be quite the dramatic affair, I think it is fair to say. Bridle's day appears to be done. He looks to be our second retirement. One driver who's dropped massively down appears to be Perez, unfortunately, so he's had some big trouble. Of course, you're going to get drivers being out of position, I think, due to the pit stops anyway, but I think, considering how far he started up, surely there's been something more that's gone wrong for him. Which will be interesting to hear post-race once he's done about what possibly happened and what possibly went wrong in those moments. Interesting to find that information out. These drivers race their way by. Listening to the incredible sound on board of these machines. It's really not that often. Really not that often that you get such loudness from cars in Assetto Corsa. But these things are loud, and that would be an understatement. Honestly, it feels like I'm back to Brands Hatch from last year, when I actually was listening to some very loud cars. Fantastic, fantastic. Oh, there goes Retro Rec, I think it's gone round. That fast complex of the circuit is absolutely thrilling. Watching them flick the car in left, well, it goes right then left, but yeah, to watch that is absolutely extraordinary. Really having to be brave, really having to show some of the bravery is into the pit lane. Comes Copenhagen for his pit stop. Running there hot, to be fair, but has now regathered momentum. Ready for the pit lane. Ready to hit his marks. His pit box. Now he's changing tyres. We're going to watch the whole procedure, do not worry for you, until he's back out. There's live pictures as well, seeing a bit of battling go on. That's Perez looking for it up against Sepe. Once Maynard has changed tyres, he'll be straight back, foot to the floor. Ryan's got to go, but we hope to see we have a great stream. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, Ryan, as well. There is Maynard. And here is Perez. Next to Sepe. Great battling this. Bit of a moment directly for Alex ahead. With a bit of trouble as well. Pozo is getting past Nilovic. It's side by side between the pair of them. Millimeter stuff. As Nilovic tries to stand on the power. And Nilovic is ahead. Pozo will try and respond and fight back. Tries to go for the wide line. Nilovic runs in deep and they make contact as they get together then on the circuit. Alex is out, it appears. He's disconnected from the server. Unless he gets back in and continues that that's his day over. And look at this, Pozo sliding all over the place. Nilovic has a chance to get his foot flat to the floor. Can he sell the dummy? Dive bomb down the inside he goes. That's a brave attempt. They get super close to contact as well on the apex. Very much close together, but they continue on in one piece. Nilovic runs in deep. Pozo looks to try and just hang on. He's looking to stay with the track advantage, to be fair, at the moment, isn't he? The gap is 1.1 seconds out in front. As we're focusing on one of the closest battles. I think the only battle on the circuit at the moment that's going on. For actual track position. Nilovic. Now has to look more in the mirrors. Copenhagen is all over the back. Maynard's do anything late on the brakes. Turn 1 isn't a complete braking zone. It's, yeah, you slow the car down, of course, you haul on the anchors, but you're already getting ready for the high speed turns that are coming up next. You're already basically turning, pretty much. Here we go, 3 cars not separated by anything. And there Pozo and Nalovic going for it once again. This is a battle where they are throwing the left elbow and the right elbow, and it is all right now going on between these two, and it's going to bring Mayonnaise into play as well if they're not careful. Mayonnaise has a look around the outside, better traction off the corner. And remember, Nalovic is boxed in as well through that part of the circuit, but he's somehow hanged on, so that is great driving from him. He cuts over the chicane though, a few more meters on. And now he's looking to try and get the car rotated. Now his line's compromised. Mayonnaise has a chance now. Absolutely fantastic as they come over the line, and Mayonnaise with the inside line is heading back ahead. Nalovic tries to recover the place that he's just lost, but he can't. And now the order for 12, 13, 14 goes Pozo, Mayonnaise, Nalovic. And now, screw anything I've just said, another move. Mayonnaise this time gets by. And now, Pozo is wheel to wheel with him. They're not done yet. They're still scrapping away. Pozo inches back ahead. Mayonnaise has to be late on the brakes. Pozo tries to shut the door. And coming in very hot on the brakes was Nalovic. Off the road, surely he's going to go Pozo by a mile. And the new battle between the two who will contend for 12th will be Mayonnaise and Nalovic, as Pozo drops 2.2 seconds down. And Mayonnaise finally gets to the place which he has been attempting to for a while. Oh, Nalovic goes off. Where's he going to rejoin? Will it be with Pozo? I think it will, and these two will continue their fight. Pozo's still a little bit further back. This is just the lap car that they're dealing with at the moment. Oh, well, a lap car that's starting to go, or, sorry, even possibly a car that's lapping them, I should say. That could also be the option. We've got a battle for the lead at the front of the field. That is beginning to develop. It is getting close at the moment. And look at how tight this is as we rotate our way around the final corner. Battle for the lead. Incoming in ACSL, Fluid stands on the power, goes wheel to wheel with Riebeck, heading down towards the first turn, and it's super late on the brakes for Riebeck, and the top two make contact. Riebeck straight into the wall as Fluid takes the lead, and it was always heading to that territory with how close they were getting to one another. Wellerman says thank you very much. He moves up to second, and Riebeck recovers, now in fourth. He goes from the lead to fourth. Sprite goes to third, and that is one that they will argue later on. But that's the thing with Turn 1, it's not a straight braking zone. If you have two drivers with neither wanting to give it up, it's always going to end in tears like that. And so we still make our way through. Timing's momentarily suggesting there's been a change up front. Nothing such. Oh, out of the race we go with Pozo. He's retiring from the contest and his day appears to be done. Meanwhile, Pullen is just trying to... Pullen, sorry, I should say, is trying to make a bit more Kitek. That's a compromise line for Kitek. Can Pullen try and send it round through to the final corner? Inside line. Place taken with ease. But... places back exchanged as well. And it's Kitek who walks back through. T1. Two drivers doing well done in the first 20 minutes. Still have a bit of time till we can get there. So, well, moment further back. Round we go. With Otrell. Minutes to go on the clock. Having lots of mistakes come in. Here's another one. Miloshi also going around as well. Pullin's got past Kitek. And it's Pullin who exits ahead. Kitek will now try and respond. Here we go. Here's the fight back. Pullin around the outside. With the defense, Kitek looking for the inside, but that's kind of a scenario that won't always arise. As further up the road, Sprite's come into the pit lane. Wherever you're watching ACSL from, it is great to have your company. It is a very sick Omi at the moment, up here in the commentary box. It is day one of proper sickness. I've had a little bit yesterday and the day before, but the first proper day of it is never ideal, is it? And I've come off a few hours of Sebring commentary radio, doing this now with you guys, and then back to it till about 2 AM. Till about 2 AM. So yeah, busy day. Which, I mean, I love busy days usually, but when it comes to throwing sickness in there, I mean, that's not pleasant anyway, but you know, it's not ideal, is it? With all the scenarios. Kitek hits his mark, so does Sprite, so does Kurgan. Lots choosing for this to be the lap they come into pit. Have a listen. Listen to the pull away specifically, once they've changed their tyres. Malashik's had a moment, by the way, at the same time as well on circuit. We're going to have to cut to it. Well, that was the pull away that I was trying to show you, but Malashik is out. They've had something go on initially, and then they retired completely. And unfortunately, that is the end of their race. What a shame. They were running decently up. But sometimes it's not to be. So, continue making our way through. Lost Duran, Bryle, Alex Pozo, and Malashik so far. It's Gabriel Kurgan as well at the moment. The driver here is 10th, trying to turn it into 9th. Whether he'll be able to do that, that's a different story. It's going to be an interesting fight to follow. I can definitely guarantee you of that. Sepe off the road momentarily, rejoining. Oh, he's going to lose it round again. It's not turning out to be a good day for him. And Cardinale reaches off as well into the gravel trap. Reversing. Trying to rejoin. There we go. Back onto the circuit he goes. Gabriel Kurgan looking to try and put the attack, and it is very close between himself and Code Mayonet. Kurgan tries to stand on the power. Through he goes, and he moves on to P9. Past Code Mayonet. Kurgan runs in deep though. Rotates his way by round the final corner, and now that is P9. Very nearly half race distance, 34 minutes to go. Very nearly there. Sepe has just made his way through to 14. I think he's just got past the lap car there, or the retired car I should say even, of Malashik. Sepe just trying to make this one home. Still the fighting goes on. And we were 3 wide at one point as they had to try and get past the lap traffic, and Kurgan's going to spin. Kurgan goes round and straight off into the grass there. And he will now stand on the power. And it's not ideal for him one bit. And you can see him weaving, trying to generate some of the tyre temperature back straight away. Way round the final corner with Kurgan and onto another lap. Another lap of racing. As we get ourselves a step closer to half race distance, here's Kitek. Brilliant downshifting noises, and then upshifting all the while as well. Perez has made the move on Nilovic towards the end of the lap at the same time. Kurgan's off again, and this time there's a lap car I think that runs into the side of him. So very close stuff there in that battle. Here's Dantis Pen. The Dutch racer, a two-time, season 4 champion, did the double in one single season, but won in both classes, both series that we were running within that one season. So, bit of a slow-moving retro-wreck. Is that his day coming to a close, I wonder? Is it just making sure that he's out of the way? Regrouping going again? Would be great. Weaving's coming to the pit lane, by the way. Well done to any of the drivers, by the way, who are having a tough day and still continuing on and racing on, because I know it's not ideal sometimes running miles off. But thank you for keeping it in there and, you know, keeping us entertained all the while. And the drivers who are entertaining us as well are Kitek and Dantis Papen because they've switched positions. Kitek's running deep. Dantis Papen has the power down. And Dantis Papen has P5. So great fighting, and Austral's now in the mix. Austral all the way from the back, roaring through as Papen gets sideways. Kitek gets the chance to fight back. They're side by side over the line. And who is going to find themselves with it with P5? Oh, they're going to make contact. Jantis Papen and Kitek will open the door for Austral. Kitek's going to be stationary and off. Austral will now be all over the back of Papen. Drivers doing well. Let me know in the live chat on your thoughts so far. The first half of the race is all complete as we power our way into the second part. Ollie giving Jake the support. He's at the front at the moment. Yes, he's looked like one of the quickest drivers out there today. Really interesting to see. Really interesting to watch and witness. Everything that he's been able to do on the circuit here today. Gave us, of course, a good battle for pole position earlier. Giving us a great race as it stands. Of course, he's dominating, but, you know, the fight for the win. We know there's drivers who can match him and get near to him on pace. It's just knowing that guarantees us. Guarantees us, I guess, within our minds that there could be a scrap come the end of the race. Who knows? Of course, this isn't an endurance race, but it is. I wouldn't call it an endurance race. It is like just a DTM race. You know, it's like a. Of course, we're still shorter than like even a Formula 1 race, but it's still longer than, you know, some of the 15-minute, 20-minutes that we might run. And of course, have 2 of those races. Of course, the usual ones that we run are 50-minute qualifying and 30-minute races. We're basically doubling the distance here in this race. Jantis prepared through the final few, through the last few laps, I should say. And just taking a look, Sepe not with all the momentum in the wide at the moment, so having a couple of struggles out there. So many interesting drivers all taking centre stage within this DTM event. Of course, we don't have our Kasper Marciniak, do we? In terms of, you know, one of those good drivers and a few others as well. We're constantly within the top reaches. Kasper Marciniak has proven to be a really big talent and the absolute driver to keep an eye on. So far over the last few months at ACSL, of course, our reigning champion. You always look at your reigning champion to kind of in your mind think of, okay, is there a challenge? Is there not? Do we have a championship battle on our hands? Yes or no? Pretty much that's what you do, really, isn't it? If they get onto a new season and they start with domination again, it's like, well, we could be in for a bit of a dominating year. See a switch on the circuit between Kartik and Austral. P6 and P7 at the moment. Sprite's also on the back of Austral too. "25 minutes. Driver's mindset will just be bring this one home, which I know we've basically still got 24 minutes, and you know that's usually a distance which some ACSL races are even shorter than. Of course, usually if it's shorter than that we do 2, but you get what I'm trying to say. You focus on it race by race, and when you look at the distance and you see still got a long way to go, then it's a bit like, yeah, still a lot to do. But I guess if you approach this now in the way of a 30-minute race where you're like, okay, we're 6 minutes in, there's a lot that's happened, we're not in an ideal position, or we are in an ideal position, how do we ensure it stays that way? Well, Sprite already showing us, you know, just make an overtake and just, you know, make a move. What a day it's been. If you're a fan of endurance racing as well, you've had a lot going on. If you're a fan of motorsport in general, if you're someone who does kind of go outside the bubble of F1, you've of course had Verstappen racing today, you've had Formula E, you've had Renault GP, you've had of course Sebring, which I've been specifically assigned to and covering this weekend. Anything I missed, let me know, because there is so much on. So, oh well, NASCAR's on as well, I guess. For the other fans who are going to watch that. What else do we have motorsport-wise on this weekend? It's got me thinking now. What else do we have? It's a very interesting question. Motorsport wise, what else do we have on? On to the main ones. I mean, I put out a TikTok asking people what motorsport they're watching, and I think we've covered them all quite literally because you had reoccurring answers. Quite literally, I'm not even joking, you did have reoccurring answers after a while. Austral, slightly. Oh, spin in the background there. Sepe. Oh, it's not been his day, has it? He tries to get the car rotated and continue on. There we go. Has Austral come in? Yes. Gotta check what else we have motorsport-wise on this weekend. I mean, we've got a bit of downtime, there's not really anything going on, which is why I'm kind of going off in a different direction. If of course something does happen, I'll basically interrupt myself. So, okay, what do we have? So we have, we mentioned MotoGP, we mentioned Formula E, we mentioned World Rally, well we haven't mentioned, sorry, World Rally's going on, we mentioned IMSA, we mentioned NASCAR, we mentioned NLS. Going on with Max Verstappen, of course. Which is why it's getting so much attention. I've not mentioned Super Tycoon. What's going on? got the Arizona Nationals going on too. Okay, there's a lot of motorsports on there. Quite a bit. Quite a bit. And I'm sure lots of local events are going on as well in different places. I'm sure short oval racing in the UK, there's something probably going on. Well, I know there is something going on. Actually, I know the location where something might be going on. Yeah, there's a lot of things that are going on. Okay, right. Turning my attention back to the race. That is prepared. Dropping down. 2 places there. But do not worry, I will find out the answer for you. I know you're probably not going to be able... I know this information is probably useless to you. You're not going to be able to somehow... be able to wrestle... You're probably not going to be able to wrestle your way to a circuit right now unless you're very close to the circuit. I love how we're just waffling now. Should we stop? Because guess what? We've got 2 drivers in the pit lane. It's not just 2 drivers in the pit lane, it's our leading 2 as well. I'm being pinged somewhere. Does that mean something's happening? No. I should add what I mean by happening. Well, there is probably something happening, but it's not something that I need to tell you guys about right now. Okay. This is very much... Well, would we say the calm before the storm? Because we're in a waiting phase, aren't we? So, 17 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Very much sprinting our way towards the end. Oh! Had a very quiet chat today, guys. Come on. Wake up. I'm being left on my own while sick, which is not good. I would love some hellos. I'd love to just talk, really. As it's quieted down slightly on the circuit. We can talk about quite literally anything. Because, you know, these races sometimes do turn into podcasts, don't they? Bit of a fun podcast, eventually. Oh, the endurance race we had, the endurance race we had about a few weeks ago. At Fuji. Very much was a podcast, wasn't it? In terms of a lot of fun. A lot of random discussions which we love, while enjoying some racing. While also crowning a winner, once we completed the race, which I found quite interesting. It's not something that you do, that you get in esports, a live decision after the race. It's only really, mostly real life, where you get it either in race or sometimes maybe in like the 10 minutes that they have after a race of things. making sure everyone's getting some screen time. Who have we not watched today? That much. Let's run through everyone. Actually, we didn't run through special liveries in qualifying. Should we do that now? Because I think everything's quieted down a little bit. Actually, wait for it, wait for it. Sprite's getting past Dante's pen. And Sprite makes the move and takes P6. Oh, and off the road as well, Sprite. So that will give the place back to Dante's pen basically immediately. All I will say is, the amount of tissues that you need to use while singing is ridiculous. My bin is full of them. It's probably not making this room accuracy good either. Right, should we get on to liveries then? I always like where and when possible. I always like where and when possible to praise drivers on liveries. So livery sign up. Scroll up. There we go, DTM. Right, we're going first of all to Diego Perez. Look, this is how it works, guys. You do your livery quickly. If you do it as quick as of anyone, you get to be the first one I show. So this is Diego Perez. Ooh, now that looks nice. Look at the front of it. Wait for it. Wait for it. There we go. Ooh, love the ACSL branding. Love some of the sponsorship I guess we got on there. Lots of different writing, a lot of different text, mix of colours. Definitely gone for the funky vibe. It's good. It's good. Let's go over to Sprite. I mean, you were just watching him, but I guess we'll fully address that he's got a special livery. Red Bull sponsoring, looking to have the Max Verstappen effect, isn't he? From his GT racing that he's getting onto this week, getting up to this week. He's right now P7, but you know, it wasn't all completely sailing for Verstappen. Oh, Pullen's had a moment, and Pullen is out. The driver who was running quite highly is out of the race. That is a shame. That is a shame. Oh, that's a disappointment for him. But we'll continue on with our livery chat then. I don't think there's anything else that's really close at the moment. Gotta love livery chat. So, Sprite, yeah. So what I was saying was, Verstappen didn't have it all sailing his way, did he? It wasn't all smooth and sailing. For him. Few hurdles, but one. Got pole as well. Wellerman. Let's go to second and to Wellerman. Believe it or not. After I just repeated his name a few times, we're obviously going to him. And he has got... I don't think I need to explain this, do I? It's the Formula 1 livery basically, isn't it? Formula 1 colour scheme, etc, etc. Looks nice. Looks nice, I think it works. I think it works for this car as well, which I think is good. So yeah. You can tell I don't like to violate anyone, generally, on liveries. If I don't really like it, I'll just completely ignore it. I'm not violating anyone. Unless they purposely do something bad. But no, I think that works, to be fair, that one. I like liveries that work. Where are we going next? Going to... The drivers hopefully have to be in the race as well, and... Well, this driver is at the moment. This is Retrovec. He's stationary, so we could, I mean, get some shots. This is on board. This is inside the car. Showing you all the camera angles, aren't we? Okay, there's a shot of the livery. Good colour scheme. He's of course in the BMW. Not many BMWs we have in the field, but he is in the BMW and he's into the pit lane. So, livery he's got is basically a pink and white. Good logo placements, I think. And yeah, I think that's good. Very decent. And then he also made the livery for Autorel. So basically you're seeing the same thing really, which is his version. Next up, Somo Racing, and that's Livery belongs. Quickly, Sprite's got past down to Spapen. Sickness really is the worst thing. The amount of tissues that I've just mentioned I'm having to go through is crazy. But Sprite's head of down to Spapen. Let's quickly try and rattle this off quickly. So, where were we? Sepe. That looks like an aggressive livery, doesn't it? It's bold. Like the stripes. That is great. That is great. Good work, Sepe. Now, I mean, Brandon Barton did a livery, but I don't think he's here, is he? He's not been here this whole race, so... He's not been here at all today. Brandon. So I guess he kind of made the livery, but it was for nothing, really, in the end. I'll try and figure out why he couldn't race. Brandon Barton. Oh no, he's in the chat. He's in the chat. Lovely. Exactly as we speak about him. I'm not gonna have to go searching as to why he's not racing then. He can tell us, because yeah, he did the livery. He's here in spirit. That's the most important thing, everyone. He's here in spirit. To be fair, that's kind of what I feel like right now. I'm here in spirit, but my body really should be in bed. Because... I mean, it would be ideal. Would be ideal if I could still be here, but be in bed. I could actually probably commentate from bed. I just need to extend some of the cables out, etc. I could actually commentate from bed. Today I really need to because... this sickness is absolutely driving me crazy. And the amount of work I've got to do today in terms of commentary. I think I've nearly finished this tissue box with the amount of tissues I'm having to use today during this race, during the whole day. But yes, I've got Sebring. I've had a few hours of commentating Sebring for radio earlier, and then I've got this now, and I'm doing it back until 2 AM, straight after this finishes really, with about an hour in between for a bit of dinner, because I've only really had lunch today, and a bit of breakfast. Okay, let's go back over to Spapen Bayonet. Okay, Bartop. I had to go out to dinner with my parents. Turns out he was an ex-Le mechanic in the 90s. Defends you out. Oh wow, wow. I mean, that's a perfect thing to be told. It's an endurance race week, isn't it? It's a proper endurance race week. So much endurance racing to look forward to and love. Not Le Mans yet, but it's coming up. We're taking down the days till Le Mans, aren't we? Is there interviews for the top 3? Well, I mean, I usually do interviews for everyone. Today, though, I will probably only do the top 3 because I think the less talking I do, the better. Because I really am sick, so... And I need to protect my voice for later. For the endurance race of Sebring. And, well, these drivers are probably going to utilise my voice a bit more because Dante's prepared and Code Mayonnaise have been going for it and Mayonnaise is now in 6th. 6 minutes to go on the clock. He used to fabricate and repair the chassis of the silk cut jacket. Oh, wow. Wow. Well, great that you are friends with him. Hope you had a bit of fun. I'm sure they are keeping a bit of an eye on endurance racing at some point. When they can, of course. When they weren't with you. I'm sure they maybe might have a slight eye on some of the things that are going on in the world right now with endurance racing. I really do want to go to Le Mans one day. That is just an event that any of the Triple Crowns, to be fair. Outside of the Triple Crown, so of course I'd love to go to Monaco. That would be great. In fact, I was speaking with someone and they're like, if you become an F1 commentator, are you going to be going out to Monaco? Well, possibly. But to be fair, I do also have to say some things are being remote. So the chance of probably by the time, if I ever do end up getting to F1, there's not a guarantee that I will probably end up going to Monaco. It might just be remote. Which is nothing wrong with the remote, but you always want to, at some point, experience something trackside. Don't you? But yeah, okay, going back to my point quickly, wrapping it up because we're coming to the end of the race. So I'd love to go to Le Mans. The atmosphere there is unbelievable in the 24 hours and, you know, that's thrilling. Indy 500, I think, you know, over a short space of time, definitely has, the Indy 500 definitely has, I think, the most loudest and craziest atmosphere for, like, the whole packed arena, like, it's a whole packed speedway and it's crazy, the Indy 500. Greatest spectacle on earth. So yeah, Indy 500 would be really fun to go to one day. And of course, as I said, Monaco would be great as well. I really do want to go Silverstone, which I do feel like is the most reasonable. And to be fair, I could probably do so as a fan at some point. In fact, I might be actually going this year, but I've got to work things out in terms of broadcasting. Because I'm meant to be doing F1 Academy and a few other things that week, so it's a bit like, you know, it's a busy weekend. Motorsports are deciding to all clash this year, and it's like, ugh. The other one I want to go to, I just want to go to Macau in general. It really feels like a great place, and I've been told by some people that in night it's fantastic. Going to the Macau Grand Prix would be really special. That's one. I want to go Bathurst. To be fair, the list would be endless. I'm gonna start naming every single circuit. To go. We spent the entire time talking about Le Mans and his funny stories with the drivers. It was excellent, but a shame that I couldn't race them. Well, at least you had a bit of fun. At least you gained a bit of insight. Got to hear about some of the stories. Can I go on board with Jake? Of course I can. Of course I can. And I'll stop talking for a few seconds as we do that. Okay, we are on to the penultimate lap of the race. Unless there's drama where this lap ends up being about 20 seconds slower, we're on to the penultimate lap. Next lap will be the final lap, and it means there's plenty of time for some battling to happen. Sprite has gone up to 5th, Mayonnaise for the moment in 6th. But yes, basically there's a lot to go to. I really love being at Brands Hatch for just a test day last year. And you know, I really one day do want to go to something competitive, but once again it's working out the dates, because as a commentator, if there is anywhere I'd rather be is somewhere broadcasting, if I'm honest. So unless maybe someone wants me to broadcast somewhere at an event, it's not the most likely thing that I'd usually just be like, yep, I'm not going to commentate for a week, yeah, let's just go and be a motorsport fan. But if there is an event somewhere in the world where I've got nothing on that week, I'm thinking of maybe like some short UK oval racing, or like if we have some event which I've got a good interest in that I can go to and just enjoy. But it's hard to go and enjoy being a fan when you're like, oh well, I'd love to commentate on this right now. But yeah. Okay, we are about to make our way onto the final lap of the race. And of course there was contact earlier on for Jake, but other than that, he has driven, well, very much in a dominant fashion. He was, of course, a contender when it came to qualifying, and gave us a fight that went all the way until the end. And now, he is moments away from the victorious moment. The victorious moment that every single driver who entered this race would have been dreaming of. And he's just got the final tasks now, with some of the lap traffic ahead. And it's the only thing between himself and victory here at ACSL and DTM. He's trying to clear some of the traffic. Oh, he's having a hard time, and the traffic is not getting out of the way. Don't know who that is, but he's trying to make this move easily, and I think he's just going to get there. There we go. He's been able to get through. And, oh no, but the lap car's fighting him, and he's off. He's off the road. Is that Metrovec? It is. So Jake getting interrupted a little bit on this run, but he's only got a few more corners to go. Trying to get to the inside line. He's done it. He will rotate his way round the final corner, and he will win the ACSL DTM race. It is Jake Flewitt on top. Wellerman will take second place. Kitech takes the checkered flag in fourth. Bayonet is fifth. Spite is in sixth. Here's the man who will finish second. And it'll be Wellerman who will get there. Over the line. And Wellerman will get second. Third will go to Rebick. The final spot on the podium will go to him, as he will send it over the line, 13.2 seconds away from the next car on the road. And it's Rebick who will get there. We've had the top 7 come over the line. Kurgan's in 8th. Ostral's in... Ostral's got to be in 9th if I can get my words out. Having come all the way from the back. But let's wait first of all for Kurgan. Here he is. Through the final turn. On the power. Checker flag comes. That is him done. Austral next up. P9. We're going to him. And then we're just going to wait, I think, for Nilovic, and that'll be it. Seppe's out, by the way. Pullen's out. So yeah, we're just waiting for Ostral at the moment. Nilovic has come over the line. Ostral's the final driver to come across it now. And there we go. There we go. What a race. What a race it's been. And we take you over to the camera screen. Well, that was interesting. We will quickly make our way for some interviews with only the top 3 because, as I said, I am really, really sick. And it has been some challenge trying to get through this broadcast. And any broadcast I'm doing today, but we are nearly there. I've only got to go till 2 AM. Let me actually calculate. Because you've got 2 hours and then 2 hours and then 2... So 6 hours. I don't know why I decided to calculate it like that. Well, when you're sick, your brain, I guess, doesn't have full power. So you can't really calculate it completely. But yeah, we've got, well, to be fair, 28 minutes have gone past that as well. So we've got 5 hours and 32 minutes. We're getting there. We're getting there. And you know, 2 AM to when the checkered flag falls. So, you know, then I've got to call a winner over the line after 12 hours of racing. And, you know, that's the big one. Our endurance race winners over the line. It's absolutely up there as one of the great things to call. So, these tissues are going to be coming in very handy, just to hopefully make me able to. That's not good English. Let me try again. I'm trying to get into the VC in a second, by the way. But I've completely forgot what I was going to say now. Yes, tissue boxes. I'm hoping that the tissues can just make me survive the final lap. There we go. The final lap without any issue. And then a few moments after that as well, until I finish my point. And we get the radio, etc. And we're pretty much done. That'll be fun, won't it? That'll be fun. Am I being pinged by a driver to hurry up? I would not be surprised, because maybe I'm taking my time. I know, it's just Dante asking, do I want to do interviews? Yes. I'll just let him know top three. Top three, there we go. Being sick is not good. Believe it or not. I think... Sorry, 1 second. You're gonna see what I've been doing live now across this entire race. I just want to... Okay, well, what I just wanted to quickly do was I just want to quickly read out this statement. I think it's important to be said. So this is Retrorec, who we saw at the end was battling away with our leader and nearly took him out. So he's saying to Jake, I just wanted to say I'm sorry for blocking you at the end. I didn't realize you were first and was fed up. I'm embarrassed for my action and overall sorry anyone I blocked in the race. I should discipline myself next time. Okay. Right, let me get myself in the interview room then. Broadcast room, in fact. Start the stage. That's if anyone even wants to talk to me. If no one wants to, then that's fair enough as well. So we're in here. Let's wait and see. I'll wait a few minutes to see if anyone stops by. And we have got our race winner. That is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Our race winner is here. Rebik's here as well. Brilliant. It's finally time for my voice to get a little bit of a break. And for me possibly to use some more tissues to sort out my sickness. And let's get some drivers to do the talking. And Jake Flewitt definitely did the talking when it came to the circuit. I can assure you that. And hello, Jake. Great job. Great job out there on the circuit. Of course, you end up taking the victory. How does it feel? Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic as well. So, what was the expectation then coming into it? Of course, as you say, it was your first round. What did you think? What were you expecting coming into this event?
Can get the job done. I know I can be fast on a Assetto Corsa, so I was hoping for somewhat a decent result. I wasn't expecting to win, but luckily the pace was good and I was managed to win the race.
You had a close moment in that race as well. I think there was a bit of contact as you were fighting away for the lead. What happened at that moment when you started a new lap and made your way down to turn one from your perspective?
So from my perspective, obviously I caught up to the leader after a few laps. He sort of ran wide, so I took the outside for the first corner. I obviously was taking my outside line. I think he maybe thought that the track was a bit wider than it actually was. So I think I would class it as a racing incident because I think we both rubbed and then obviously he spun out into the gravel and I luckily managed to carry on going. But yeah, it's a bit of an unfortunate incident.
Yeah, a bit of an unfortunate incident indeed. And then, from your perspective as well, was there any other hurdles you found yourself trying to deal with during the race? Of course, you had some lap traffic as well. And I know on the final lap, a driver thought that they were battling with you for actual position, so they kind of got in your way. So, how was that final lap as you were trying to take avoiding action and just trying to bring it home?
Yeah, I mean that was very nerve-wracking that last lap. Obviously, I was hoping he would get out the way, just move to the side as it was literally the last lap. But no, I mean, yeah, it was very scary because I thought this might not end well here. But luckily, after a close call, I managed to stay on the track and still win the race. But yeah, it was a smooth race up till then.
It was indeed. And then, what's your future plans? And as you mentioned, your first round in ACSL, do you expect to be back soon?
Yeah, 100%. I really enjoyed tonight, so yeah, hopefully I'll be back again.
Okay, well, we're looking forward to seeing you then. We're looking forward to seeing you then. Well done on today, and go and enjoy the celebrations.
Yeah, thank you very much, mate. Can I just shout out Ollie Hopewell and Jack Pullen?
Absolutely. Go on.
Right, cheers. Yeah, cheers, Ollie and Jack, for helping me out, lads. Really appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely. Shout out to them indeed, and well done to yourself.
Right, yeah, cheers, mate. See you in a bit.
See you. So that was Jake Flewitt, one of our latest drivers in ACSL, and one of our latest winners at the same time. So we have got next up. We don't have Wellerman, so we've got Weebick. I can see Poser and Kurgan are waiting. Unfortunately, as I'm really sick, I'm only being able to get through the top three today. So unfortunately I can't do interviews like I'd usually do in terms of absolutely everyone. But if you're here to just to listen, then that's absolutely okay. But just thought I'd let you know as well before I disappoint you very soon. Weebick, let's get ready to bring him up as well, the driver who
Oh,
ended up
hello.
finishing third. Hello, Weebick. How are we doing then?
Uh, I would say that it was a pretty tough race. I mean, I had the quali pace. The lap was almost perfect. I know I could have gone a bit quicker, but 118 was good enough for pole position. First stint was pretty good, I would say. Everything felt great up to the point when I was lapping the cars in front. Then I lost some time, and Jake caught up to me. I've made a pretty big mistake. I went wide on the last corner, so he caught up to me. And then we had a small contact. Pretty unfortunate. I mean, it was racing incident or my fault. He took his line, I took my line, and we ended up touching each other. So I just went straight on into the wall. And yeah, from that moment, I just kept my slow pace, I would say, because I've swapped tires to mediums. Oh, and of course, I had different strategy than both Wellerman and Jake.
Yes.
So yeah, I knew that if I don't try to undercut Wellerman, then I won't be able to finish P2. And after I saw Wellerman pace on those softs, then I just kept managing my pace to finish securely P3.
Yeah.
And that's how my race went, I think.
Yeah, very good summary indeed in terms of the race. So going a little bit back in terms of then coming into this race, were you expecting a podium by the end of it? Did you think that was the
Well,
expectation?
I guess so. I mean, I've practiced a lot because I love this track and car combo.
Oh,
It's really understeery in the fast corners, but really oversteery in the slow and mid corners. So I quite like that in a car. Handling and managing this was pretty tough, but I loved this challenge. And during the practice sessions, I was the quickest, like in almost every of them. So I expected good result. I'm a bit disappointed because I didn't finish second. I mean, my pace was similar to Werman. Jake was, of course, a bit quicker than both of us. So yeah, but yeah, I expected this podium, and I'm pretty glad to secure it.
well, you delivered in the end, so well done on that. Then in terms of what's your future plans then? Of course, there's a lot of exciting races coming up in ACSL. What are you going to be participating in and where will we be seeing you?
Well, I'll be definitely participating in the April Fool's race. Bouncing Yaris one. Yeah, we've been asking for a race like that for a long time, and we actually got it. So I have to participate. But apart from that, I think I'll be driving for the season during the whole season.
Yep.
The calendar is actually quite good. The car feels okay. It's really understeery, but after some setup tweaks, you can drive pretty well with it.
Yeah, that's some great insight as well. Okay, well, we look forward to seeing you across the next few events as well. Well done on today, and we'll let you go and enjoy the podium.
And thank you very much. See ya.
See you. Okay, and that was us speaking with Weebick. And before we quickly go, we'll run you through the calendar as well. So this is what is coming up. We've got next up the pre-season event, pretty much. We've got the pre-season event that will be taking place. Now, I'm actually not going to be your commentator for the season. I will not be talking you through. I'll not be taking you through the season as well at all. But you do have me for the pre-season, and you do also have me for also the April Fool's race. So don't worry. Do not worry about that. You have me basically till the last day of March, 31st of March. But yes, I will not be talking you through the season, but I will be, well, I guess previewing you into the season as well, which I'm sure you're all going to find very much interesting. So it's going to be some season, but I'm looking forward to getting that, I guess, getting an idea of how it'll all play out in a week's time. Well, for myself, a very sick Omi. It has been a pleasure to bring you this race. Apologies for the extra bit of silences that you may have got randomly in that race. I do really apologize for that as well. And apologies if the voice sounded off at any points. But it's been another fun race. It's been very much entertaining. And that'll be, I think, the description of next week when ACSL will go racing and begin to preview its new season with pre-season testing. We'll see you there. Goodbye.